A big storm is in the Southern Ocean. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. We're tracking this big storm south of New Zealand. Don't worry, it's not coming any closer, but it is bringing in more windy weather and a bit of wet weather as well, and some dangerous seas around the lower South Island. When I say dangerous seas, we're talking about waves of between 5 and 10, 11 metres in this area down here in the south. Now, for the most part, the populated areas like Southland, Otago, the west coast, swells, waves I should say, around 5 metres potentially this afternoon, and even bigger around some parts of Southland, so please take extreme care. This low is very deep. This is more like a midwinter low, and it's helping to produce all of these strong winds, and on top of that a high in the Tasman, which is coming for northern New Zealand in the next couple of days, is helping to also push in more wind. So you sort of got layers of westerlies, layer upon layer upon layer, across the country. It's an old TV ad for anyone who is wondering. All right, let's take a look at the setup for now. So there is the low, 949 hectopascals. That is very deep for this time of the year. Hurricane Laura, which hit Louisiana as the strongest hurricane on record for them back in August, went down to 937 hectopascals. So this is a very deep low, similar to that in depth, not quite as deep and not the same structure, but still gives you an understanding as to how low that air pressure actually is. And that means with the high up here, this is all the windy squash zone. A lot of wind pushing in across the country, more rough weather across parts of New Zealand for today, Thursday. Let's get into Friday. And the winds actually ease a little bit in some areas because that high comes into northern New Zealand. Low pressure to the south, 954, so starting to weaken as it tracks away from us. All that stormy weather is going with it, or the seas will still be pretty rough, the waves will still be pretty big around these southern areas and up along the west coast, fueled by strong westerly winds. But the high in the north means conditions will be a lot calmer, especially in the upper half of Northland, not the North Island, the upper half of Northland. That's where weather will be mostly settled, but it'll still be a bit windy in Auckland, Bay of Plenty, and really right across the island, and hopefully Wellington, you'll get a few sunny spells in there, but the cloud could still be lingering around for you. Into the weekend. Okay, Saturday sees a cooler change moving up the South Island, cooler to colder. There will be a few thunderstorms as we transition from that warm westerly to the cooler, colder sou'wester. So a few thunderstorms on the west coast, maybe even down around Southland as well, and a touch of snow on the mountains. Up on the mountains. Rain and showers move into the upper South Island, Nelson and Marlborough later on, and the lower North Island or the lower southwestern corner, Taranaki towards Wellington. You'll get some wet weather a bit later on. Into Sunday, that stuff clears off out to sea. The low, the next one I should say, is starting to build here. We've got high pressure to the north, so it's not too unsettled, but as you can see, the nor'west is coming back, and that means the windier weather is returning. Not that it necessarily stopped anywhere, but it comes back again with a little bit more strength as we go towards the end of Sunday. In fact, by Monday, the windy nor'westers are back, but they're warm in some areas, subtropical for parts of the North Island, so it won't feel that cold for you. Further down the country, showers, west to northwest winds. Here's our next storm. 959 hectopascals, not quite as deep as the one we've got now, but still, this is like midwinter, these sorts of systems. And our final map for Tuesday shows high pressure up here to the north, subtropical winds continuing on for Northland, Auckland, Waikato, Bay of Plenty, Gisborne, even northern Hawke's Bay. And then you go further down the country and it's just windy westerlies with rain on the west coast once again. It's sort of the setup we've got, spring-like weather. Hopefully around the middle of December, these highs will come into New Zealand and calm things down a bit. But between now and then, a lot more windy weather on the way. That's all from me. We'll see you again tomorrow with our next update.